Oh, I didn't even know that you lost me. Yes, Alicia, I was saying that things will continue as planned. Even the setbacks that have been identified will not change the program as it was initially contemplated. Alicia?
All right. And of course, Vuyo, look, elections are always marred with rumors and half-truths. Have you heard any stories at this point that have piqued your interest in terms of people rigging votes or stealing people's votes whatsoever, Vuyo?
Well, not quite the stealing of votes and that sort of things, but from what the IEC told us a short while ago, there were some very few, they emphasized, incidents where, for example, there were arguments between members of the various, or supporting the various candidates, but they say they moved in quickly with the assistance of the law enforcement agencies, and those little problems that they tell us were quickly nipped in the bud, and as things stand, everything is going smoothly. No major problems or even the tensions. It was just people swearing at each other or yelling at each other or kind of intimidating one another, but not even to the point where they beat or hit one another.
And of course, the Zambians in general, Vuyo, are they happy with the poll so far? And what is their expectations on the results?
Well, very happy indeed. I mean, earlier in the day, in fact, in the morning, when we spoke to them, some of them standing in that rain, ready to cast their vote and not being even discouraged by the rain that we saw earlier. They were also speaking very highly of the state of the organization of this poll. Queues were moving fairly quickly, and there were no problems. Of course, there were some people who apparently registered elsewhere and wanted to vote in areas where they were not supposed to vote in, but the IEC moved in quickly to try and redirect people or direct them where they are supposed to go. And in no time, all those little problems were by the voters' own admission, and those problems were actually sorted.
All right. And of course, Vuyo, what has been the reaction from the observers, both the AU as well as the SADC?
Well, we spoke to the SADC Observer Mission. We did speak to International Cooperation Minister Ngwana Mashabane, and she was singing praises, really congratulating the Electoral Commission in this country, but also the political parties for behaving so well up to this point, saying everything is going very, very smoothly. And even where there have been problems we've just spoken about, all those were being attended to in the manner befitting of this election. So she was singing really their praises. And yesterday, when we spoke to the AU, we haven't spoken, we will be speaking to them in the next hour or so. They too were quite satisfied with the state and level of organization. We spoke also to the Electoral Institute of Southern Africa. They too were quite satisfied with how things have gone so far. So no one really having any major problems with what has been happening or with what has happened up until now. Alicia?
Vuyo, look, please give us the scope. We understand that both presidential candidates were not necessarily popular due to various reasons, but who do the Zambians seem to lean more towards?
Well, it is a neck-and-neck race between the two candidates, but it's quite interesting because while many people agree, even those from the opposition, that look, it is indeed for Edgar Lungu to lose. He seems to be having an edge over his major rival. The other 9, in all fairness, will really end themselves the title of also Rens. It doesn't seem like they will be anywhere near the major two, rival candidates.
Thank you so much for that. We will be getting back to Vuyo. That's SABC's contributing editor, Vuyo Mvoko, on the ground in Lusaka in Zambia, where the presidential polls are taking place today.